7.
The Federal Reserve cut interest to near zero over the weekend amid this coronavirus outbreak. Fox 5 financial analyst, Chase Wilsey, joins us now to explain what this means for consumers. I hear, Chase, a lot of people talking about doing things with their mortgages during this time. What does this 0% interest rate mean?
Well, so it's an interesting, Shal. You know, the 0% rate, it's really for short-term funding for banks. So don't think you're going to get a mortgage for 0%. That's not going to happen. That's dependent on other factors outside of the Fed's funds rate. What it does indicate is that the Fed wants lower interest rates to kind of help people get through this tough time, help with their cash flow needs. And the other thing that they announced is they're going to be doing asset purchases. Now, what this does is that really helps with the mortgage rates because it creates demand for those bonds, which should lower those interest rates. And we saw a record low actually on the 30-year note pretty recently, about 3.29%. That's a pretty good rate on your mortgage.
Possibly taking advantage of this right now, refinancing their home? Is it going to be easy? And how much are we talking about saving?
I think it is a great time to look at refinancing, or if you have an ARM or a variable mortgage as it's known, it could also be a good time to look at switching over to a fixed rate. Again, lock in those low rates for the long term. Right now, if you look at a 3.29% interest rate, gosh, about 13 million Americans, it's estimated, could save money here. It's about an average of $277 a month, which works out pretty well. And I think here in San Diego, houses are a little more expensive. I think it's going to be a little bit higher than $277.
Do you think it's going to be easier to qualify for these now? Because I know it's been tough for over the past few years to be able to get a loan, refinance for home loans.
Of course, still depends on your credit. That's the other thing mortgage rates look at. It's not just, oh, there's loans for everyone. You still have to have good credit to qualify for these loans. But again, the demand is high. I have a lot of friends in the mortgage industry. They are saying they're getting calls like crazy to refinance at the current time because it makes a ton of sense. But I do want to point out, you have to understand the full picture of the mortgage rate because you are extending the life of the loan, which means you could pay more in interest over time. But again, you can look at doing other things to make sure you're still being smart with that loan. So have to look at the full picture. Don't just look at the interest rate saying, oh, it went from 3.5% down to 3.29%. I better refinance. There are a lot of other things you need to look at here, Shally.
Yeah, but I think Chase, a lot of people just looking for a little bit of relief as they come out of this, of recovering financially out of this, as that little bit may help in the interim. Will this have apply to anything with student loans? Interest rates?
Student loans are really interesting, actually. If you look at them, the federal student loans are set once a year. So the federal government looks at the 10-year Treasury note typically. And right now that's around 1%, which is very, very low. Then they add on a fixed percentage rate to the various types of federal student loans. That is then set for the full school year for beginning July 1st. So I do believe you will see a very good student loan rate compared to history with a low 10-year note. But right now, I think the big opportunity lies with refinancing your student loans because that's through private lenders that look at a confluence of different items such as your credit score, how good of a borrower are you, and so forth. I think you could again refinance your student loans at a very, very good rate. And if you are beginning school starting July 1st, hey, you could take advantage of a pretty good rate there as well.
Well, Chase, as a lot of people are spending more time in their homes right now, they have time to do this. They can look into this. Chase, thank you for being here. Good information.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Time now 7:54. Coming up, how phone companies